Access all areas, afl.com.au. Damien Barrett and I, joined by Dr. Peter Larkins. Welcome to you, Doc. Plenty to talk about injury-wise from a significant round 9.
Yeah, look, it started off pretty quietly Friday night, and I thought it was going to be a good weekend. Saturday wasn't too bad. Saturday night and Sunday, they all started to line up in the medical room again, Das. Yesterday, Brad Green was the one I wanted to start with, playing for the D's against Collingwood. He's been out of action after hand surgery. He gets hit heavily in the ribs and ended up in Epworth Hospital. Just see the contest here where the back of the right ribs gets hit with the body. We see young Bootsma from Carlton come in, and this was just in the first quarter, Das, so it was early on in the match. And there was some blood being coughed up. The doctors had a look at him downstairs. You see one more angle again, so you think, oh, it's going to be, a cork. And he actually came back up at the quarter-time huddle, but only for a minute. And then because he was still coughing up some blood, spent a few hours at Epworth Hospital, had lung scans which showed not too much damage, no broken ribs. He was discharged, still pretty sore. So they're going to watch him during the week. And if he continues to cough up blood, may have another scan. But it's... Look, those ones, often they're sore for a couple of days and then come up to us.
I'm just told we've got a tweet through from Brad Green at AFL_AAA, and he says, thanks to everyone for the tweets. No major damage, which is good. Disappointed I couldn't stay on and help the boys. So just as you said, Doc?
Yeah, well, no major damage means he hasn't got 3 broken ribs and his lung hasn't collapsed, but he'll still be pretty sore. And look, he doesn't want to miss any more footy, Brad. He's keen this year to continue to play. But look, he's an outside chance to play, but if he's sore, they'll keep him off a week.
Doc, Keefe at Collingwood, yet to be officially 100% ruled out for the rest of the year, but every talk is that will be the case. This is the incident from Saturday night.
Right knee injury. Look, that's an ACL on the mechanism. We're going to see it from behind the goal shot again. He goes to push off and he's pushing to his left using the right leg, and Damo, just watch it flick in and buckle there. So basically that's where the ACL ruptures. The doctors have had a good look at it. They've got a bit of experience at Collingwood this year with ACLs. This is the 4th one at the club this year. Grabbing the back corner of the knee, which is also a bit of a sign where the pain goes. They had a good feel of the knee, and as I said, whilst it hasn't been officially confirmed, I'm expecting that he'll have an ACL reco and be out for the season.
That is as innocuous an incident I would have thought to have your season finished.
People say, how do you do an ACL? Well, I could show you 10 different lots of vision, 10 different ways. Landing from a jump, a bloke getting your legs taken out, just changing direction. So there are contact or non-contact versions, some of which are associated with players being challenged, other which it's just you say, how could I have prevented that?
Doc, the Pies have won 6 games in a row now, but their injury list is starting to become a real concern. Talk us through where they're at.
Well, just look at this. This is almost an All-Australian backline in some years. Das, Keefe's been playing fantastic well. I'm expecting him to miss the season. Nathan Brown coming back from an ACL and then had a bit of a tweak of the medial about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's probably got another 2 or 3 weeks to go before he's up to form. They might rush him back now. Ben Reid, we know how good he can be when he's on song, Das, but with a quad injury, another couple of weeks there. It's the 3rd quad that he's had. And Chris Tarrant, remember, missed 5 weeks with a calf injury. Has played at the VFL level, but they were looking to get a few more games into him than to get him back this week. But it just may be possible now they have to. And look at this. Brownlow medalist Dane Swan, his first ever hamstring. We'll need another 2 weeks. They thought 1 or 2, but it's probably going to be the standard 3 or 4 matches. Ben Johnson's shoulder reco, not expecting him back this year. Luke Ball with his ACL won't get back this year. And as I said, they've had 4 ACLs, Cracker and McCaffrey, before round 1. They're running and training. But look, based on normal return to footy, you'd want the ACL graft to be strong. And I'd be really surprised if they put him on the park this year.
As far as you know, and with your record keeping, 4 at the one club in 1 year, is that close to an AFL record?
It is close to an AFL record. I know the Eagles had 7 in 3 seasons or 4 seasons, but so that was a lot at one club. Look, 1 per year per club is bad luck. That's 18 if you think about with 18 in a year. We've had 10 this year, 5 in the pre-season, but 4 in one club, 1 season, they'd be saying, what have we done wrong?
Another knee injury. Sorry, Dusty.
Yeah, Andy Collins.
Yeah, Andy Collins, while we're talking about knees, for Richmond.
Yeah, well, the mechanism Andy Collins' injury, you see him jump in the air, number 16. You see him actually prop and then he lands awkwardly and hyperextends the knee. So look, this here, just see, he skips and then he hyperextends. So it was that little skip where he felt something give in his knee. Now, his scan this morning, the latest news, he's got bruising inside the knee without structural damage. But bruising inside the bone can take up to 6 weeks to resolve and create swelling. So whilst Andy Collins has probably dodged a bullet in terms of that hyperextension, we often say that could be an ACL. They've said no ACL, but a bruised knee, that can take 3-4 weeks at least.
Doc, 3 more soft tissue injuries at Essendon Saturday night. They've had a great start to the year, only lost the 1 game, but unbelievable amount of soft tissue injuries.
They have. They've been under the pump a little bit with the press over related it. Look, Hardingham was warming up and his calf injury from last week broke down again and he just couldn't run and couldn't get through. So Kyle Hardingham definitely is going to miss a week or two now. They won't try and do the same thing again this week. Stewie Crameri, who's been playing well, was off having work on his adductor early in the match and got sorer and sorer. It's interesting because he actually played out the game having subbed out another injury I'm just going to talk about in a minute. So Crameri, I think, it will be in some doubt this week. They'll certainly be working on him. They don't want him to break down and get a 3-week injury where it could be just one. And the one they did sub out was Ricky Dyson, who ended up getting groin problems at three-quarter time. When they were talking about whether Crameri could play out, they actually had to take Dyson out of the game and ice up his groins. And I'm absolutely sure that he won't be playing this week. So I think that Hardingham out, Crameri in doubt, and certainly Ricky Dyson, who's been playing pretty good footy this year. I think he'll probably miss.
What about Fletcher? Is he a chance to come back?
Fletcher's a chance to play. He wants to play. They're playing Melbourne this week, and I think the old man that he is, remember he's out with an adductor strain as well. He's only missed the one game. I'm absolutely sure he'll be better off if he misses two. I suppose Dusty's trying to get his game numbers up, but I think, if there's any doubt at all, with the age that he's at, and it's so important to them, Das, I reckon he should be missing another week.
Unusual injury to Jake Bachelor, Doc. Tell us what happened.
We talk about on-field injuries. Jake Bachelor was rolled his ankle on tram tracks going into this weekend's match, so he actually had to be subbed out, removed from the lineup for Richmond because he actually sprained his ankle on a tram track. So be careful on the wet when you're crossing trams.
How many weeks for him? Will he likely this week? Or?
Yeah, look, I think it's probably unlikely. They're going to have a look at him later in the week and see whether he can put full pressure through it. But at this stage, if it's severe enough to keep him out, they'll probably give him another week.
Has that story been checked, Doc? I'm normally concerned about players when they do innocuous things. Wasn't jumping a wall of a beer garden somewhere or anything?
I know. We're going back to. I won't even mention the player. He doesn't like it being mentioned. A certain Geelong player who's. There's been injuries off the field that have cost more time than they should have, but we won't question. I think at this stage we're going with Richmond's story of a tram track.
And Jaron Giri for St Kilda copped a nasty knock to the eye.
Yeah, they said he was subbed out with concussion. Just watch Alex Thompson, the Sydney player. They hit heads coming in here, so above the left eye. Watch Giri there smack. And he gets a fracture above the orbit, which is the bony margin around the eye. So whilst he was concussed, you can actually see the blood coming out there. He's seeing a surgeon today to determine whether he needs surgery. They're saying he might play next week. That'd be really unusual to play if he's got a fractured eye socket. I mean, sometimes if it's not displaced, you might have one off, but it's still going to take 3 or 4 weeks before it's solid. If he has surgery, he could miss a month.
Doc, one final one. Just got a tweet through. Tom Brown, Channel 7 News, has suggested that James Frawley might have an issue. He's been spotted walking around in a moon boot. Yeah,
James Frawley's got a sore foot. He's got the plantar fasciitis, a ligament under the bottom of the foot. He's been playing with that, and it does get sore. A lot of players have carried that through. So moon boot is often just to rest the foot for a few days, take the pressure off the walking mechanism. So I think Frawley will be right.
Plenty of work today, Doc. Great to catch up with you every Monday with all of the comprehensive wrap. You need to tune into afl.com.au to see the doc and what is happening with your players' injury. Such a big part of the year. Damo, stick around because one of my favourite players in the AFL is up next, the North Melbourne superstar, Drew Petrie, on Access All Areas.